The woman tried to squeeze through the narrow gap between the two cars and get back into her own, only to find the car beside her was parked so close that she could not open the door at all. Seeing this, the man next to her immediately got out from the other side and walked toward the rear of the car. But on such a clear, sunny day, he was holding a strange-looking umbrella. Before the woman could figure out what was going on, the man suddenly attacked her. Soon, he laid the unconscious woman on the ground, took some zip ties from his pocket, bound her arms and legs tightly, and shoved her into the back seat of the car. When the woman slowly woke up from her coma, she finally realized she had run into a dangerous man. By then, she had been tied up from head to toe, with no chance of escaping for the moment. The man told her he was going to take her to a cabin deep in the woods. The woman could not bear the humiliation of being completely at his mercy, so she secretly tried to use the phone on her wrist to call the police. But the man quickly noticed her small move. He told her there was barely any signal in this forest, and that was exactly why he had chosen this place. He told her to accept her fate and come with him to the cabin. Then the man began introducing himself, but what he did not know was that Anna always carried a dagger whenever she went out. She quickly and quietly slipped the small dagger out of her pocket. Then, while the man was still rambling on and talking non-stop, she secretly used the dagger to cut through the tie around her wrists. Before the man could react, she immediately attacked him with the blade. In an instant, the entire situation completely turned around. At the same time, their struggle caused the car to lose control and slam headfirst into a tree by the road. The hood of the car was smashed to pieces. Fortunately, neither of them was injured or knocked unconscious. Just as the woman was about to crawl out of the car and escape, the man grabbed her again. Luckily, she reacted fast and yanked the seatbelt beside her, wrapping it tightly around his neck. The man quickly pressed the seat release, trying to free himself, but the moment he broke loose, the woman kicked him away and finally managed to crawl out of the car. Seeing that he did not seem to be chasing her again, she quickly untied the restraints around her legs. Just as she was about to leave, the man suddenly called out to her from behind, holding the dagger. The woman screamed at him to stay away from her, but there was not the slightest trace of panic on his face. Faced with her threat, he simply lowered his head and calmly glanced at his watch. As it turned out, he had already prepared a backup plan. While the woman was still unconscious, he had already injected her with a muscle relaxant. Once the drug slowly took effect, she would gradually lose control of her muscles within 20 minutes. By then, her body would no longer obey her brain. But after hearing this, the woman did not believe him at all. The man advised her to behave, give up, and surrender so she could suffer less. As long as she handed over the dagger, she could also suffer less later. But the woman still decided to risk everything and take her chances. Then she turned and ran desperately into the depths of the forest. But before she had gotten very far, the dagger slipped from her hand and fell to the ground as she fled. And as she ran faster and faster, her physical exertion rose sharply, causing the muscle relaxant in her body to take effect even more quickly. Her hands gradually stopped obeying her. The woman could only rely on the last bit of willpower she had left to force her body to move, but she was clearly losing strength, unable to fight off the spreading numbness and weakness. After what felt like forever, even moving a single finger became incredibly difficult. Before she lost control of her body completely, the woman quickly set a 20-minute countdown on her watch. Then she dragged her increasingly heavy body forward with everything she had. Behind her, the man never gave up the chase. By now, her legs had also begun to go weak. Even so, all she could do was keep moving forward. Soon, her entire body changed, and she collapsed to the ground. She knew that if this continued, he would catch up to her sooner or later. Her only option now was to find somewhere to hide before the drug fully kicked in. Soon, the man caught up. He looked around, searching for any trace of her. The woman, however, used the natural blind spot beneath a tree hollow to stay hidden and successfully avoided his search. But she did not realize that the hollow was actually an ant nest. Soon, the ants picked up her scent, crawled out, and slowly made their way onto her body. Meanwhile, the man was still searching everywhere for her location. Just as it seemed he was about to leave, something unexpected happened. By then, thousands upon thousands of ants had crawled all over her body, biting every inch of her skin like crazy. In the end, unable to endure it any longer, the woman exposed her hiding place.